Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Sunday morning chat on the project in your community. Look at that. What do you reckon, Pete?
Yes, nice
That's
sign.
our new. That's our new. Look at the shadows. That's our new logo for next season. We're only going to air it on here at the moment. It's going to be out on the 1st of June when we do quite a few little changes to
Who
what we.
designed that?
Oh, me. No, I didn't. No,
Okay.
no, no. My daughter did it actually. We got. That's the community one. We got a football one as well, which is sort of similar, but they're nice.
Okay.
So, boring week, wasn't it? Really, no Blues.
Yeah.
FA Cup final, which I mean, you just knew what it was going to be like, didn't you?
Man,
Uh,
FA Cup finals, so Jesus, it used to be the big thing, didn't it? You know
mm,
what I mean? I mean, I must admit, after we lost to Fulham in '75, I found it difficult to watch a cup final
yeah.
for the next 3 years. But we used to make a thing like, the old man and my uncle always used to come round. It's a massive thing, the FA Cup final day, like.
Well, it used to be like BBC would have it on all day, wouldn't they? From like
Yeah.
10 in the morning, and they'd go through all the games they'd played and non-league teams that had nearly got there and all this. It's
Yeah.
nothing now, is it?
But then, like I say, so I started playing cricket then. So I didn't. After I think the last one I watched properly was Man United beating Liverpool 2-1, and then I was playing cricket every Saturday. So I just used to miss them. Like, and then I watched the one when Villa got beat 4-0 by Arsenal. Funny that one. What I want to choose to suddenly start to watch because I've gone round our mate's house in Stetchford there, flipping letting fireworks off and everything. That was a good one. That one. But no, it's just the way. It's just another game, and blink and you missed it. It used to be the showpiece of the season, didn't it? The FA Cup
I didn't
final.
even realise it was on until midweek. And I thought, oh, right, FA Cup final. And I didn't even mean to watch it then. I was just sitting there yesterday doing a bit of stuff on my laptop and thought the FA Cup finals on. I might as well put it on in the background. It's a good goal. It took a
Yeah,
bit of it was more, it took a chance on it, didn't he? And he got lucky, really,
I was so glad that we actually got a mention and all.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, that was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, because for the first time ever, there was bloody Chelsea fans decided to get behind the team and sing about them, didn't they? And they
Yeah,
said, "Oh well, I've never heard anyone as loud
since
as
Birmingham.
Birmingham
Birmingham,
when they
yeah.
played Arsenal." So I thought, "Well, God, we got a mention! Wow, brilliant!"
Well, maybe it
But
exists.
but no, I mean, like we're all of the same sort of age, aren't we? And Fulham just soul destroying, and I think the fact of how big the FA Cup was made it worse,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you know what I mean. I mean, if
It,
it happened now, it'd be bad that we didn't get to the FA Cup final, but it was the thing to go for. It's almost like more important to win the FA Cup than it was to
win the league.
win the league, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the '68 one was bad as well, but I was only a kid, so I can remember being disappointed, but not the way Fulham, because it was really there for the taking, wasn't it? Obviously, like the Albion one, we were still in the second division, Albion were in the first division. I can't remember who scored. It was 2-0, wasn't it? Astor scored one, I
Oh,
think.
but
Uh,
Aston and Tony Brown scored for Albion, didn't
Yeah,
they? Yeah.
but I remember, I remember Pickering hit the post and and I remember the Blues. I was underneath the scoreboard. I was in the alt, and I remember the Blues fans just singing, "Why don't you all fuck off? Why don't you?" It was just one of the, nothing was going right for us. Like he dropped John Vincent that way day as well, didn't he, Collis?
Yeah, big
Uh,
big miss, wasn't it? But
yeah,
but I mean, you thought we'd done the hard work. We'd beat Arsenal and we'd beat Chelsea.
Chelsea. Yeah.
That out of them three, you thought, oh, Albion, we got a big chance here. But for whatever reason, whatever you can say about Stan Collis's teams, they'd attack and score goals for fun, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
But
they were good. I mean,
on,
like
on
Bridges, Greenough, Pickering, that Vincent,
but when
Summerhill.
it really matters, like I say, he dropped Johnny, didn't he?
Yeah.
Um,
An odd decision, but we look back on things like that, and if it had gone well, he'd have done the right thing. If it didn't, then you remember him forever. But
because the other thing that we got to remember as well, though, Steve, haven't we? Is that because the FA Cup final was live, the only games that you watched live was if you'd go to them. Well, there was obviously the home internationals as well, wasn't there? But that was about it. It was it was the novelty of seeing a live game on TV.
yeah, it was. I mean, now you can just watch, and you can watch National League games on TV, can't you? You can watch
Yeah.
any game you want. It sort of spoils it in a way, but then again, I don't know. You got to move on. Time moves on. You can't uninvent the wheel. So it's one of those things. It's where we are now. Next season, we got this new financial restraint in place, which falls in line with the Premier League now. What are your thoughts on that?
Um, it's going to do us a favour, isn't it, to have it like this rather than the 3 year rolling? Because this is my take on it, because we are making so much money, then we can afford to spend 80% of that money, can't we? And they've got
So
an owner.
it has to be football revenue, so it can't be non-football revenue, but that can be stretched. I'm not 100% on the exact rules of that, but I'm sure that Knighthead will have some pretty inventive accountancy going on, and I think that's worked in our favour. You wonder how little teams are going to cope. Like teams that come up and get gates of like 8 and 10,000, but Bournemouth do all right, don't they? But having said that, they get the money from the Premier League.
Yeah,
I've often thought that really the Premier League should have some kind of minimum gate capacity for entry.
yeah. It just it surprised me though that if you think about it, like how many clubs, what was the 18 out of the 24 voted for it? It ain't going to be like turkeys voting for Christmas, is it? They're going to they vote for it because they think it will help them.
It'd be interesting to see the six that didn't. You could probably pick them out if you sat and looked at it. It'll be the ones that don't earn much money on it.
Yeah, and then you've got, I don't know if it's happened now or yet, but the Lincoln manager's going to Bristol City, isn't he?
Yeah, it's a shame that really because Lincoln have had an amazing season and they're in the championship next season with Bristol City.
Yeah.
Obviously Bristol City are a bigger club and he's probably getting more money and he's blah blah blah. But I mean, they weren't that far off us. I think they had 105 points, didn't they?
Yeah,
Oh,
is it?
So it ain't far. I mean, we're all worried about Cardiff catching us, weren't we? But had Lincoln hit their run a little bit earlier in the season, they might have done it because they had an extremely good season. But as we know, 111 points doesn't guarantee you promotion the next season. But it looks like we stayed up anyway, didn't we? That's the main thing. We weren't worried about the last game of the season like we usually are. Sort of sport the last day in a way, didn't it?
not used to it, are we? But
So
it,
we've had a lot
it's
of people asking questions about the loan players. Um, in the statement that Blues put out, it said, like, thank you very much to like Beadle, Tommy, uh, John Solis, uh,
Osmond.
Ibrahim Osman, and there was one other, I think, for their service and that they're returning to their parent clubs. I mean, it doesn't literally mean that they're returning to the parent clubs. What it means is that their loan period is finished. Now, there's no one at St Andrews at the moment, right? Because it's close season, so they're not going to be sitting in a room somewhere in St Andrews now waiting for the new season to start. So these players have gone back to parent clubs. Now, then, if we want to sign them on a contract, we can't do that until June. So we would have to wait until June. I mean, the conversation can be going on now, and I know with John Solis, they had done something, but that isn't really 100% clear as to what they did with John Solis. Some people are saying it was linked to us getting promotion to the Premier League, and others are saying it wasn't that. It was if he hits 11 games, then that clause kicked in, and we had the option then to sign him. Definitely it was a commitment to sign him. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what happens there. But he's the one probably out of all of them that I would keep if I could.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
I was going to say, I mean, there's four of us here, and I think we got definitely differing opinions to what flipping Dixon Dickin had when they was trying to destroy him about his positioning and all that. I mean, I think we all love him, don't we?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, I think he was going. What it was Dickin that was talking about it when he was caught out of position. I mean, all right, it happens to every player, but it was Clive. And then he was going, well, like, and Chris Davis was going mad at him and blah blah blah. It's like just that fucking shite that the Evening Mail. It's that this sort of, they have to make some kind of highlight, don't they? Because otherwise it wouldn't be worth them being there. Not like us just being here and talking shite, for an hour. We can do that, no problem, can't we? How you doing,
Well,
Clive?
Everybody, Angus, Dave, Peter, and Steve. Good morning.
hi, Clive.
Good morning.
Good morning, yeah. So, I don't know. I think it would be a great addition for us. We need that bit of steel in the defensive in the pivots at the back, and I think obviously Osman would be another brilliant addition, wouldn't he? But I don't know what. I mean, if you're looking, I mean, I'm not saying anyone should look at transfer news or whatever it's called, that website, but he's valued at 17 million in there. Uh, you know, that's out of our league, I think.
yeah, just a bit, yeah.
Unless I can do something, with these new things, this new system coming in as well. I think loans will be a lot more popular, obviously, because with a loan, there's no big outlay; it's just wages. Although we did pay, I believe, 500,000 for the John Solis loan uh, at the end of the season. So, I don't know how much we paid for the others. I'm not sure about Beagle and Osman.
Well, it's funny, like we did on about Solis there. Um, that obviously, like Dickin decided to pick faults on him, and it's the same as like people picking faults with Chrissy Davis, isn't it? Now we've had a season there where I know it's going over old ground, yeah, but we finished 10th. Um, and there's so many people will not let this sideways and backwards bollocks go.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, the default for we've won as many games as we've lost, haven't we? Basically,
Yeah.
but if your default is to think about the games that you've lost as opposed to the ones that you've won, that says a lot about yourself, really. What sort of person you are is that and it's the easiest thing in the world to be negative. Don't get me wrong, it's far more easy to, but you know, we
It's
weren't
like
all bad, was
people
it?
focus sensationalized stuff, don't they? They like doing that.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I
But with
mean, I
it,
think,
that,
and the
that's
club have made it pretty clear that he ain't going anywhere. I mean, in the retain list, or when the Lisbon thing was announced, Chris Davis is taking his squad to Lisbon. I mean, I don't know if you're about to sack your manager, you don't put stuff in like that. You just say the club has arranged to go to Lisbon or whatever. I don't think it's Lagos in it. I always thought that was in Nigeria, but there's one in Lisbon. There's one in Portugal as well, apparently. But I was looking
yeah,
at flights yesterday, and like, from Spain, it's 5.5 hours, but I think they have to stop at about 10 different places. It's only 100 quid, but I don't feel like sitting on a plane for 5 hours to go to Portugal. I could drive there almost in that time.
mm. But I still haven't got a passport anyway. Is Carl going to Istanbul? Is he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I was with him last night, and Carl's one of the he's one of the chairman of the Lions clubs. He runs a big part of the Villa Lions. He's one of the steering group. So I think he's got a season ticket anyway, and his son has. But they get the tickets like as part of the steering group. But there's a lot of people that want tickets that can't get them. You know, it's the usual thing, isn't it, with cup finals. He's going to it's in Turkey, and he's going. Going on Tuesday, and they come back on Friday or something.
Well, I'm going to bury my head in the sand and have a media blackout. I am. I mean, it was the same like Friday night. I just knew that they'd turn Liverpool over. So you got a choice there, Aston Villa versus Liverpool. And I ended up watching Salford against Grimsby. It's a good game.
Was it on Sky?
Yeah, yeah. That was unlucky. Grimsby got it back, and then Salford scored in extra time.
I can say that they're winning the cup. I can. I'm trying everything not to think it, but I can't help it.
I'll give it a rest. I want Villa win the cup, mate. We never hit the last of it.
I sort of think they will as well, but it don't matter. Like, they haven't won a domestic trophy this century.
Yeah.
We can keep that one, can't we?
Yeah.
So what do you think about the retained list? So we got 33 players. So obviously we gotta lose 10, ain't we, really?
Mm-hmm.
Minimum. Can't see us. None of the kids will be going. I think probably Ryan Allsop might go. I'm just looking through them now. It's nice to see Billy Borrell there. Will we keep all of the left backs? Lee Buchanan, possibly, Alex Cochrane. Which one of them two might be going? We've got De Silva. Marvin Dux is still under contract. Does surprise me a little bit. I think they might try and move Dux on. Fujimoto and Furuhashi, I think both of those need probably to be moved, don't they?
Yeah.
A lot's been said about Kanya, like he hasn't been given a chance and that, but he has. I mean, they see him in training every day of every week. And if you've seen a player that you don't like in training that isn't doing it, that you don't think he's going to perform, it'd be wrong to pick him, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm a bit sentimentally like, but if we're going to do anything, I'd love to still keep. I don't know how long Lee Buchanan's contract is with us, but I'd rather send him out on loan for 6 months to get a bit of game time, and then see how he is and bring him back into the fold.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. As a fullback, I would have him over Alex Cochrane. I think he's a better fullback. Cochrane looks a bit uncomfortable at times, dependent who he's playing against. I don't know how he's going to shape up this season. He had a fairly decent season, but the inclusion of Wagner obviously made a big difference, and I think he's sort of got his name stamped on that number 3 to start, hasn't he? I think.
Well, and then like you says, towards the end of the season, we got like a settled back four, hadn't we?
Mm.
And it seemed like that Bright was getting the nod over Ethan Laird. So you have to, everybody loves Ethan Laird, don't they? Yeah, me included.
So positive.
But yourself with Ethan, would he be happy to play second fiddle?
That's it. The thing is, like, we are sort of blessed with some very good players, and it's like Asai Samuel can play right-sided midfield as well, like a number 8. So I don't know. We still got Taylor Gardner-Hickman as well, who is a utility player. I think he'll be moving on. I would think they will make him available. Damari Gray, Tomoki Wata, we spoke about last week. He's in the last year of his contract. Could he be going? We got Clara Laird, Mark Leonard, who now is out of action for probably 6 months with a ruptured Achilles.
Yeah.
I did put a piece in last week actually about Achilles. I don't know if you've seen it, about Achilles injuries and just how debilitating they are. I don't think people realise what a massive injury it is. If you get a complete rupture, it's like breaking a leg. It's a really, really nasty injury. I've had it myself, and you never really recover from it unless you play for a football club or something, and they graft something from somewhere else, you know. I'm just running through it. Manzi Mazwi, one of the kids, he played a couple of, he's a left full back. He played a couple of games at the start of last season, if you remember, a couple of the League Cup games, and he played in Portugal. Phil Neumann, Bright Samuel, Byron Pendleton, who we just spoke about. I don't know if he was on the air then when we spoke about Byron, but I don't think we was. But Byron, I think he's just won Player of the Year at, I forget what it was. I said it 15 minutes ago. But he's a good right-sided fullback. Lovely family, great player, and I'm glad we're keeping him. You know, and then we have. Let's have a little look. August Priska. So someone said the other day, you know, I mean, you know, why don't we play Kyogo instead of Priska? I mean, you know, all Priska does is run around as well. So, you know, what's the difference? You know what I mean? I mean, what's the point? There's the point in arguing about it. Patrick Roberts, there's been a lot of speculation about him, hasn't there? It's great to have in your squad. What do you think of him, Pete?
I love Paddy, but like you say, would he be happy to stay with us when he ain't guaranteed the minutes that he probably, when he did sign his contract, probably thought he was going to get?
Yeah, he has got the contract though, so that's a little bit of safety net for him. And of course, you know, you can't expect Vicente to play every single game. But in all fairness, since Roberts signed the contract, Vicente has really come into his own, hasn't he? His game upped in the last 5 or 6 games. I think he's getting used to the English game, and he's settled in well now, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, we go through this like the difference is like from a Blues perspective, like a fan's point of view, you're thinking, oh well, isn't it great like that we've got cover in all these positions, but I'm thinking of it more of what the player would be happy with minutes on the pitch. Would he be happy to say, oh well, yeah, it's great that there's 2 of us fighting for this one position. I might get 10 minutes.
Yeah, but you have got in-game rotation now rather than game rotation. So instead of playing one game and playing one the next game, you know, Paddy Roberts will probably come after 65 minutes. And if he gets 25, 30 minutes every week, you know, I mean, it depends how well the team does. No one knows what's going to happen yet, obviously. Another one is Jack Robinson, who I believe has got his contract runs out this season, I think. So I think Jack will probably move on. I think we'll be looking for a new left-sided centre half to come in to take that position. I know, like Robinson hasn't been playing, and at the moment we've got Neumann and Clara there, but I'm still not sure that Chris Davis is 100% happy with having a right-sided centre half on the left. It does make, you know, although it's looked really good over the last 4 or 5 games, I think Clara struggles to tackle on his left. You know, like it's not as natural as he is on his right. I'm just having a little look through the list. Caleb Sanders, one of the lads, Paik Sung Ho, who we talked about before, and we're not sure 100% whether he's staying. I'm pretty sure he will actually, because we know Chris Davis loves him, don't we? Jay Stansfield, of course, Carlos Vicente, Kai Wagner, Tyrese Warmington, and Scott Wright. Scott Wright, he's got to go, hasn't he, I think?
You'd think so. I mean, he's had a move up to Dundee, hasn't he? He hasn't exactly set the world alight up there, has he? Bless him.
No, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with him as a player, and I like Scott Wright, but you know, he's not in the same league as Paddy Roberts and Carlos Vicente, is he? He's a little bit like Paddy Roberts in the fact that he cuts in a lot. I mean, Paddy Roberts cuts in a lot from the right because he's left-footed, but they are similar in a way. So I think there's players amongst that squad that are going to be moving on. Well, there has to be, because we ain't going to have a 33-man squad, and we're not going to be paying people for not being in the squad. So it'll be an interesting one to see who comes in. I think Chris Davis is talking about bringing 6 players in, wasn't he? And probably right, you know, a goalkeeper, left-sided centre half, another striker. And the thing to think about when people are saying, "Oh, give Kyogo another chance," and all this is, if you look at it in the cold light of day and say, "All right, and people want to give Kyogo another chance," so you say to them, "Right, then, do you want Kyogo to give him another chance, and we don't sign another striker?" Is that because that's what would happen if Kyogo stays? Because he would be the backup for Priska, and he isn't, is he? Or would you rather
players? Yeah,
two
complete players.
Yeah, they are, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you say, right, and we're going to keep Kyogo and take that massive risk on him, you know, which it would be, or do we bring someone new in for like 3 or 4 million, another striker, you know, someone who's probably a bit bigger, someone who's got championship experience? I don't know. I mean, I would go for the latter. I supported Kyogo all the way through it when he wasn't scoring. I was so glad when he got his goal. He's a lovely little thing, isn't he? You know, you want to take him for a walk and all that, you know. But he's not. He's cute, isn't he? But he's not. You know, we don't. He just doesn't deliver, does he? He hasn't delivered, has he? And you can't argue with it.
I'd like to have another physical presence to as backup for Priska.
Yeah, I think so as well. If you look at, I was watching Hull the other night. You know, if you look at McBurney, you know that kind of presence, and McBurney can play the ball as well. You know, he's a bit like Priska, except a bit slower, and he doesn't press the same. But he has got, he can use the ball on the ground as well. He's not just a target man, you know.
So if Hull get promoted, do you reckon they'll let him go?
Who?
If Hull get promoted, they'll let him go.
McBurney?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably. I don't think it would be one that we'd be looking at because I think he's getting on a bit, you know. I mean, if we're going to buy another one, probably, yeah. Listen, there's some really good centre, there's some good big lads in the Championship. And above, I mean, we could, you know, you could be looking at, I'm not saying that McBurney wouldn't be possible. I mean, you know, I was just using him as an example. But there are a lot of powerful centre forwards.
Got any big units in our under 21 and under 18 setup? Would you know?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, we had the last one was the one that we let go 2 seasons ago. Was it Andrews? Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was the last sort of centre forward that we thought might be doing the business, and we let him go. So I don't think there are kids. The problem with our kids at the moment is that there's become a bit of a gap with them. They can't get the experience that they need because we had to, you know, we sold so many players and bought so many new ones in. Nobody brings 13 new players in usually in a season. So when you got 13 brand new contracts, you're not just going to leave them out, are you? And then players that you've retained are going to be sitting on the bench. So you're not, like I said to someone yesterday, I go, "Oh, you know, what about the kids?" It's okay then. So who are you going to drop out of the team? I'm not saying drop them, but, you know, I mean, we need to look. Yeah, but what you're saying then? So we're not playing them. They can't get on the bench because we've got a load of contracted players. So what do? We just keep them not playing and playing in the under 18s, or do we put them out on loan, which is what we have been doing? We've had some successful loan players. I mean, like we talked about earlier, Tommy Fogarty is a really nice centre half. But then you got Billy Burrell, who's in the same mould, you know, and probably a bit better, you know. So it's the same thing when you look at the kids. You don't want duplicates of the same player. And these players need loans as well, you know.
Do you remember the first loan player we had, or remember?
Skip me that. I can't remember what happened last week.
Mike O'Grady.
Who?
Mike O'Grady from Leeds.
Oh, that's going back a bit, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And then we had got Tommy Carroll on loan, and but the loan market now is such a big thing, isn't it? You know what I mean? I mean, it was it weren't a thing back in the sort of like late 60s, 70s and that. But now you can bring 5 in from the almost like oven ready to go, aren't you?
Yeah, and that's one of the problems though that we've had because our player. I was talking to Vicky Pendleton about this, and she was saying, that because the players aren't getting any sort of first team experience, that a lot of clubs don't want to take them on loan because they've never actually walked onto a pitch, like a professional first team pitch. But like I said, Byron had a couple of really good loans last season, and a couple of the lads did. Billy Burrell was out, quite a few were, and they're returning now. So next season, there's a good chance that a lot of those lads are going to go out again, but probably go out a little bit higher up the top, into League Two, League One teams. But that's what we want, to see them performing there.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard like that when you see about these kids being released. I mean, it is what it is. It's like a bloody meat grinder, in it. But you've had kids who've been at the club since they've been flipping 8 years old now, in it. They start, they've done nothing for the last 10 years apart from dream about this was going to be their chance to play first team football for. And yeah, well, thanks for the last 10 years, but sorry, on your way.
Yeah, it's a hard world, isn't it? But you see, like players like I see who's been let go. I was surprised at that one because he looked really good, didn't he?
Yeah, he scored a few goals as well.
The left winger, yeah, but again, we're overloaded, aren't we? I mean, I don't think he'd be a backup for Damari Gray if nothing happens with Osman, with Ibrahim Osman. Then we're probably going to be looking at another left-sided winger, aren't we? I know we got like 4 wingers at the moment with Osman, if you count Osman, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. But I think we need that because the way we play, we're getting the ball forward quicker and we're getting the ball out. We need those players to be there to cut in because we made a lot. I mean, Osman was brilliant, wasn't he, last season? I mean, he missed a couple of really good chances, but I mean, that lad, something else in it coming off that left wing.
He's different gravy, him, isn't he? But I mean, we talked about it before, haven't we? What I wouldn't want to do is put all my eggs in one basket, and spend all the budget on one player. If we can get Osman, do a deal with Brighton and get him on a loan again, absolutely fantastic.
If we got him on a year loan, that would be the ideal thing, and I think that's what Chris Davis will be going to Brighton to ask for. Whether or not Brighton want to sell him, there might be opportunities for him because the other thing you have to think about is what does the player want to do? It's not just will Brighton let us have him. He might have offers from Premier League clubs, that'll play him in the first team. So it's that one's a difficult one. And we have got Damari Gray, who was pretty much sidelined, wasn't he, towards the back end of last season?
Yeah, I mean, I thought up until Christmas, he was probably one of our better players, Jimmy. He was the one that you look for. Then he's had his injury, and he hasn't been the same Jimmy since he's come back, has he? But what a bloke and what a wealth of experience to have around the dressing room. It's just where Dimmy wants to go with his career, isn't it? Does he still want to be the main starter, the main man? I don't know.
It's funny when you see him as well because he looks about 15, doesn't he, with his big glasses on and all that. You think, bloody hell, like, they are kids, aren't they, really? I mean, you look at August Priska, he looks like he's about 15, August Priska does,
Everybody looks young when you're our age, Steve. That's the problem.
Don't bring up policemen, that all the coppers look about 12, can do, don't they?
Have we give Brad Mayo a contract? Have we?
Yeah, he's retained Brad Mayo. So that either it's a hard one to work out. This is, I think, if if James Beadle doesn't come back, I think we sign another keeper. Because I can't see Ryan Allsop being the starting keeper next season. I think it's going to be someone else, and Brad Mayo's on the bench, you know, if required. Unless he goes with Allsop with Mayo as a backup. He's had another year under his belt, Mayo, of learning his trade. Would we be happy with Ryan Allsop as a number one? I don't know. Would you, Pete?
I do feel for Brad, really. I mean, you can't help how tall you are, can you? And that'll always go against him. But you know, people's first impressions, oh, he's too small to be a keeper. But I mean, with that, you know, remember Flipping Derby won the league with Colin Bolton, didn't they?
Yeah, but I think it's.
You know, Paul Cooper, he weren't exactly tall, was he? And he was great at Ipswich. But it's a different game these days, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm just thinking, like, you know, with all these big giants around Mayo at a corner, you know, you do need that physical presence in this league, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, James Beadle's 6'7", you know. I mean, and even he doesn't get up. You know, I mean, James Beadle, as much as he's a really good keeper, I still think he needs to just fill out a little bit. He's still a kid, and just be a little bit more domineering. But he has got a big voice, you know. He's not quiet in the box by any means. And we've seen him bollock Clara, you know, a couple of times. And you know, so I think he's confident enough. I think he just needs a little bit more body weight.
Well, with James, he's a work in progress, isn't it? Can we afford, you know, do you want something that's already made, or are you going to say, oh, well, yeah, there's a lot of James's attributes which are fantastic, like his reflexes, unbelievable. He's got a mistake in, but you name me a goalkeeper that hasn't.
I mean, look at Villa keeper, you know, I mean, he's got mistakes
that can improve. The fact that now he's got a big target up front as well with his kicking helps. You know, I think he's got all the makings. And like you say, when you've got that sort of frame, yeah, he does need to command his box more. So
I think as the season went on, though, again, like the last 5 or 6 games, like a lot of them did, they really came into their own, you know. I know we went 5 games unbeaten at the end, and I know like the pressure wasn't on so much, but he really did come onto his own. I mean, he made a couple of amazing double saves, and you know, he looked a lot more confident. I don't know. I mean, I don't think he'll be coming back personally. I don't know if he'll want to come back. The lad coming for a lot of stick, didn't he? You know.
Yeah, absolutely. So
he's going to have chances elsewhere.
It is a pivotal position though that we've got to get right in it, especially if you know, from all the noises coming out now that it's almost like a shit or bust season in it for Chris. If we're not in that top 8, top 8.
I mean, it shouldn't be. Like people are saying, oh, you know, like, well, I'll give him till Christmas. You won't fucking give him till Christmas. It's up to the club. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, like, it's like you say, but you know, oh, the jury's out on him. I mean, he's going to start. He's going to be in charge next season, and then we see what happens, don't we? It may well be if it comes to Christmas and we're like 14th or 15th in the table that the club look at bringing someone else in. He's been there 2.5 years. Then it's probably a little bit different. He's had a good bedding in season. I think, you know, we've done the best that we've done for 15 years. A lot depends now on recruitment, doesn't it?
100%. You can only work with the tools you're given, can't you? What do the other lads think, goalkeeper wise?
I've always liked Beadle, James Beadle. I can't comment on Brad Mayo because I haven't seen him. I don't think I've ever seen him play a game. So I used to be a goalkeeper, and he's not the be all and end all, depending on the size of the strikers.
How tall are you, Clive?
I'm 6'1", 6'1".
Oh, fuck, mate.
Yeah,
don't look that big sitting down. I'd reckon you'd have a mistake in you, though.
So if we can get Beadle back, I don't think that would be a bad move. But I should imagine there's lots of other goalkeepers that are going to be on the market as well. So, the people in the know, I mean, nowadays in football, it's my tire. So you've got people behind the scenes who perhaps know more about the goalkeeping side of things than Chris Davis. So, yeah, I should imagine everyone's working behind the scenes to know who's available out there. But
I think if you put like your club hat on, would you want to say Beadle became available, right?
yeah,
I mean, how much do you think?
how much it'd be worth?
Yeah,
Well, because of his age and the way he is, I think Brighton, I think he's talking around £8-9 million.
yeah, probably more.
Yeah, maybe.
And the thing is, if you're Blues, do you want to spend probably 10 million on a goalkeeper when you can probably get a really good, experienced goalkeeper? Like, I keep saying Ruddy, someone
Yeah.
along the lines of Ruddy who would just keep the goal well for us for a season,
Yeah, we've got to look as well at players who will do well for us just next season. That's the fact. We'll buy players who will help us out for next season, hopefully to get into the top eight. And if we'd got promoted that season with everybody we've been talking about today, what would the risk be then? Who's leaving and who's going? I think there'd be a lot more players leaving.
There wouldn't be many left. Yeah, but obviously, if we had have won the league, then they would have all performed a lot better, wouldn't they? So
Yeah,
the
of course,
competition would be different. But I mean, listen, any team that goes up has a huge turnaround in players.
Yeah.
And the big talking point at the moment is Southampton and this game between Southampton and Hull, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the way I look at it here, like they've sort of put their hands up to doing it, haven't they? So
Yeah.
but the thing is, there's no way the EFL are going to cancel that final.
Yeah. Steve, I think it is what it is. I'm sure it's not the only time it's happened. It's not going to be the last time it's happened. There's people go to training grounds and what have you and watch the players. And so I think it's just one of them things. And I've made an issue of it because of the size of the game.
I think if they took Southampton out, say they remove Southampton out from the competition now, then what they would put then presumably Middlesbrough into the final, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
I presume that's what would happen. But what I think they would do is they've been found guilty, right? So next season, the EFL have got different rules, haven't they?
Yeah.
That they have. But if they stay down, I think Southampton will get like a 6-point deduction next season. And if they go up, they'll just wash their hands of them, and go, well, it's the Premier League's issue now. They can deal with it. It'd be a massive thing to take a final away from a team, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think, Angus?
Yeah, I agree, mate. I think they should be booted out, if I'm honest.
Do you? Yeah.
We've had this before, haven't we? Spygate. Had a few matches and nothing really got done. So I think exactly what you said. They'll be like they're playing it and then they'll wash their hands out to get promoted.
I'm just predicting what they'll do. I mean, I'm not saying I think that's the right thing to do. I do feel sorry for Middlesbrough, to be honest. But, I don't know that. Middlesbrough, oddly enough, probably because of that, changed the setup, didn't they, in that game? They played with the back five. And Middlesbrough don't play with the back five. They play with the back four. They play like us, 4-2-3-1. They play with the block.
And they played Southampton's hands, didn't they? By changing the system.
Yeah, I think they did, yeah. So it could have actually had quite a bit of a kickback on it. What do you reckon, Dave?
Yeah, I don't know whether you read that really long article about the football rules that somebody put up yesterday, and he was obviously bored and looked at everything up. And there was one situation with Swindon, I think it was, in, I think it was the League Cup, and it's slightly different. They played a player that wasn't registered, and they said, sorry, admin error. And the AFL went, admin error or what? They just kicked him out of the competition.
Yeah. So Phil Pelley couldn't play then.
Yeah, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that with it's the most expensive, most lucrative game in world football. So I think I agree with you, Steve. I think they'll let the game go ahead, the final go ahead, and then they'll probably hope that Southampton win, and then they can go, right, it's not our problem anymore.
Is it Saturday?
Yes, next Saturday, isn't it?
Or a week on Saturday? I
can't remember now. I think it's next Saturday.
Yeah, because
no, I think it's a week on Saturday because it's the bank holiday weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the Monday has the National League playoff final, I think.
Yeah.
The Sunday has League 2 or something. I don't know, but I think it's the Saturday game. I think, isn't it? The Champions.
Yeah, I know. One thing they've said is that they can't postpone it because Wembley's booked for the next God knows how many weeks.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting one, and one that we're not involved in, unfortunately. But
just going back to that retain list, though, Steve, and the point that Clive put that. Have you seen the call that's happened with the women's side?
Yeah,
I'm not surprised. Was you? I mean, lots of Lindstrom going was a surprise.
That was the one that stood out for me. I thought, bloody hell, what's going on here? But
yeah, that was the one I was going to pick out as well, Pete.
There's going to be some big incoming in there, I think.
Well, it needs to be. We're in the Premier League.
Well, I'm looking forward to next season for the girls. I really am, because I mean it's a big part of our income as well. I mean, as a club, it's a big part of what. So if you're an investor, what I'm saying is a Knighthead investor, you have got something. Look, look what the ladies team have done. They're in the top. They're in the top division now. The men are going to get there. It's sort of, if there's any investors that get a little bit, uneasy with the way things are, then there's the first move forward, isn't it, with the girls? And it took them 2 seasons really. Last season they were really unlucky, weren't they? The last game 2-0 down, came back to 2-2. And never quite got the winner, although would have gone up last year. So I think, hopefully the ball's in the men's court this season, isn't it, to get us into the into Premier League. And
I think we will sign some players. I think behind the scenes, if you're going to spend a couple of £1 billion on a football ground, an all new project that's going to change small league for the rest of the world, you're not going to be happy. Whoever's the manager, I'm not knocking Chris Jones there. If you only finish 10th again this season, they will go for it this season because they want to return. They want to return on that investment, and they want to see on the news every night when the Premiership League is showed on the TV screens, Birmingham are winning it. Because that's where you got to be if you want to make your money and be on the world stage.
I mean, we obviously want to get up this season if we can, but it's a bigger incentive as well getting into the top 8, isn't it? It gives you that bit more to go at, and although it's going to be like the playoffs, I think is like 8th plays 7th, and the winner plays 6th, and then it's the top 6, and then it's the 4. It's 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th then in the semi-finals like it is now. So it's sort of 2 little playoffs that take you into the last 6.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I've got to go now. So it's been good talking to you. See you next Sunday.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. Good care.
Have a good afternoon, mate.
Cheers.
I think we're all sort of coming towards the end of our time. I'm surprised Pete's managed. Is you watch it all up to date, Pete?
Well, what it is because I haven't been going to away games. I mean, I'll stop on my phone and use, flipping hours on a coach. That's what uses up all the data.
Yeah.
All right at the minute.
The coach has got Wi-Fi.
Well, don't ask me about how these things work. I just I've got some left now, and normally this time of the month I bloody wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm trying to sort Portugal out now. I'm going to go to Portugal. I can't wait for that, and that's in July. So we got the FA Cup in June, the World Cup in June, Blues in July, and Portugal, and then August is the start of the season.
Yes.
We got it wrapped up, haven't
we? Yeah.
Listen,
last thing before we go, just pulling it back to the women there on about like investment that's going in. I mean, you look at the names that we've got, like you know, I mean that Hope Powell, like she's an absolute icon, isn't she? She's involved in it. We got Karen and you know that Kim Clijsters. She's a tennis player, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
But they've chucked a bit of money at it as well, haven't they?
oh yeah, and of course, like Amy Merricks has done a great job. I think. I mean, she's finished second and first in her 2 seasons. She's done really well.
Everything is set up there. I think that there might be some big names, you know, in the women's game coming down there.
I'd love to see the gates get to like 2,000 and 3,000 and 4,000. You know, I mean, that Sunderland Newcastle game last season at Roker Park at the Stadium of Light, Division 2. You know, like same league we're in, 35,000.
Yeah, you know. I mean, you wait till we play Villa. It's still there, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that will be a big one next season, and it might go off. Who knows? Be a lot of hair pulling.
Right, yeah. Coming out of retirement.
Hey, Angus, you're going back to Nick.
Free food, free board.
Guys, thanks so much for this. It's been a good one this morning. I've enjoyed that, and thank you so much for joining me. It's always nice to see you, lads. And Pete, thanks, mate. Clive, how's everything, mate? All right?
Everything's going all right. I had a bit of an operation this week. I'll go and see him again in a couple of weeks. We do it hard this week. But thanks for thinking and thanks for asking, lads. Very kind of you. But
keep us updated, mate.
I will do.
Yeah. And Angus. You all right, son?
Yeah, I'm good, mate.
Listen, guys, have a fabulous rest of your weekend, and we'll be back next week, won't we?
Yeah, we will indeed. Take care, guys. Have a good weekend.
Thanks for so much.
Bye.
Stop it, Pete.